Now please be aware that I am talking about abiogenesis, not evolution. Evolution explains the diversity of life.
Also Neptune, for some reason.
Abiogenesis says that there was a strange pond with strange chemical reactions occurring in it, and over thousands of years, proteins and DNA started to form.
Once again, you have demonstrated that you do not understand the topic you have decided to speak on. I'll let you prove my point.
Abiogenesis is a very vague theory. It doesn't explain how the proteins and molecules formed, and it doesn't explain what kind of climate and environmental conditions would be suitable for non-living organisms to turn into living organisms.
Really? I wonder how much research you did for this one. Here are our points of contention. He says there are no hypotheses to explain either of the following: the formation of proteins and molecules, the climate and environment of the time. Let's start with the first one. Life is essentially just chemistry, so to understand life, you must understand the chemical processes behind it. I'll give you one example. Links for useful videos will be in the crotch bar. These are fatty acid bilayers. They are similar to the phospholipid bilayers that make up our cellular membranes. We know what they are made of. We understand their chemical properties, and we know they occur naturally. It's important to note that these structures actually grow and replicate despite lacking DNA, a nucleus, and all the organelles that our cells need. This information is easily available online and in any high school biology textbook. Now on to your second claim. You do not believe there are any theories as to the primordial atmosphere. Well, that's not quite accurate. You see, when the primordial Earth cooled enough for the crust to form, it released a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. No wild guess here, we can still see it happening today. Most of the basic chemicals of life have very little oxygen. This also supports the reducing atmosphere model. The earliest life forms were likely anaerobic and single-celled. One of the products of producing energy by anaerobic respiration is oxygen. Now, oxygen is much more reactive than carbon dioxide, and when life adapted to make use of this compound, that was now prominent in the atmosphere, it made multicellular life possible. Once again, this is not just speculation, it is based on empirical evidence. We can measure the change in oxygen levels in the geological column. We know that the element oxygen has 6 valence electrons. We know it has a high electronegativity. Again, this information is easily available. Your claim that it does not exist simply shows your unwillingness to learn, and I find that rather pathetic.
Okay, so let's go through the list of facts that disprove the theory of abiogenesis. Fact 1. Genesis 1:21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the water brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
Fact 1. The Zombie Survival Guide, Chapter 7. He came from the woods, a man stinking of rot. His grey skin bore many wounds, from which flowed no blood. Upon seeing the screaming child, his body seemed to shake with excitement. His head turned in her direction. Based on this evidence, zombies do indeed exist. That means the law of conservation of energy is incorrect.
Fact 2. John Horgan said, in short, proteins cannot form without DNA, but neither can DNA form without proteins. So we cannot have one without the other. Which came first, proteins or DNA?
The only websites I could find referencing this phrase, when I typed it into Google, were creationist sites. No big surprise there, as that is likely the only sources Truthful Christian will ever read. Out-of-context quotes are difficult to contest. However, I could not find anything to suggest Horgan supports creationism. Quote mining is the most dishonest of creationist tactics. I know nothing will get my blood boiling more than someone using my own words to try to make it seem like I was saying the opposite of what I believe.
Fact 3. We have Sir Fred Hoyle, and he's a mathematician and astronomer. He calculated the odds of life coming from non-life is 1 in 10 to the 40,000th power.
Fred Hoyle's contributions to cosmology and nucleosynthesis are important. Unfortunately, Hoyle later proved himself to be a poor scientist when he stopped following the evidence because it diverged from his belief in a steady-state universe. He began pursuing unfounded concepts such as C fields and baseless probability calculations such as the one you just gave us.
Some people say that abiogenesis is not a theory until scientists create life from non-life. And even if they do this, all they're proving is creation. They're just mimicking God.
No, creating a chemical environment that simulates the primordial Earth is not the same as proofing everything out of nothingness, and doing so has gained promising results. Look, abiogenesis is still a young theory, and just because we do not yet have a comprehensive explanation for the origins of life does not mean we should discount all we have learned. At no point in our history has a supernatural explanation ever supplanted a natural one. The contrary has always proven true.
Yeah, alright.
And I really didn't want to make this video because it's a waste of time and this guy clearly is an idiot.
You have zero understanding of evolution. You have zero understanding of science in general, but yet you keep making these videos like you understand them.
Now the truth about stuff says that I have no understanding of science. Well, I can assure him that I understand as much as he does in science. Yes, I've been to college. I have a college education. I've studied a lot of subjects, and I've studied evolution theory. And I know how science works. I know the scientific method.
Yes, we've heard that before. Sadly, though, you, like all of these people here, have a track record that proves you are lying. In your first video, you could not even keep your straw man straight. The rest of this video is just childish psychological projection and useless Bible quotes, so I'll just move on.
I don't think he knows the shit that he believes is just a fucking joke.
Alright, this is Truthful Christian, and I'm going to be reading 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1.
No one cares.
Here I have a list of some of the prophecies in the Bible. And all of these prophecies have been fulfilled, and they can be found in the Bible.
How nice. The Bible proves events that happen in the Bible. Good job. What follows is more of what made up part 5. In addition, there's a reference to, of all things, the Bible code. I'd rather skip that shameful display in this video. It's the final section of the video that's the real kicker.
Alright, to say that someone knows a lot more than me is completely false. Because I've got about 14 videos here. I've got about 14 videos which destroy the idea and theory of evolution. And you can watch these videos and find out how evolution is impossible and it can't possibly happen. And I've got a video here called Noah's Ark Found. Noah's Ark has been found, and it's been carbon dated to be 4,800 years old. Alright, I've got a video series called Why Do People Laugh at Evolutionists? Alright, and the series talks about, the series debunks evolution. So don't just say that someone's smarter than me. Don't just say that they know a lot more than me, because I know a lot more than them. In fact, I've got my very own YouTube channel, in case you haven't noticed.
That is just so shockingly arrogant. And what exactly are the qualifications required to have a YouTube channel? Having an email address. I could have skipped all of the previous, since you've decided to make use of what is possibly the stupidest argument from authority ever. If your measure of reliability is having YouTube videos, then here is a list of people I find more reliable than you. Aaron Raw, QDragon1337, Theta Omega, Eddie Goomba, Thunderfoot, FS Atheist, Potholer54, me, Nicotine2, Andromeda's Wake, Concordance, Non-Stamp Collector, Steph Zula, Jaguar Jones, Freedom of Speech, Dawn Exodus 2, Zomgits Chris, DPR Jones, Sarahan06, The True Puka, Caroline.
God will send you straight to hell on Judgment Day.